Still in a minute. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another kitchen live. Yay! And it looks like the tech is actually finally working for me. So yeah. Morning, Gina. No power cut this week. I'm sorry. Oh, it's lovely to see you. This morning we're going to be doing a triple chocolate banana bread. And it seems to be that everybody's baking banana bread at the moment during lockdown or easing or whatever we're calling it now. So I've had so many requests to do this, and it's one that I'm sort of on the sort of do I do it or do I not do it sort of camp. But I'm going to do it. It will be interesting. I'm actually allergic to bananas. I can handle them. They just make me very poorly. So I sort of feel a bit. We have subtitles. Oh wow, really? Yeah. So yes, we're going to be doing a triple chocolate banana bread. I am allergic to bananas, so this will be interesting. It's only if I eat them. They make me quite poorly. I can handle them, but those that know me, they'll know that bananas aren't my favourite thing in the world. But we're going to do it because you keep asking for it. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to put my big girl pants on and we're going to make some banana bread. So this is a triple chocolate one. I put out earlier in the week sort of a picture on the page with lots of different types of banana bread on, and chocolate came back as the winner. So that's where we're going with that this week. But look on there was loads of different ones, like strawberry cheesecake one, salted caramel, all sorts. So there's lots of different variations, but I'm going to stick with a tried and tested chocolate one because I have been testing this one out on Ian, so I know it doesn't. I just can't eat it. So first up, we're going to just preheat our oven as always. So 180 degrees C or 350 Fahrenheit. So I keep saying this is temperamental. I do have an oven thermometer, so I know that it sort of registers a little bit off where it should be. So I just tweak mine just a little bit higher than 180 on the dial, and I know that that's going to give me about 180 in the oven when we get into baking. There's a frog in my throat this morning. So we'll run through the ingredients quickly. We'll talk about the offending bananas shortly, but we've got I've got 4 small-ish overripe bananas. You want 2 medium, but these are quite small, so we're going with 4 overripe bananas. I've got 200 grams of soft brown sugar. Finally, some brown sugar has arrived in my shopping. I'm so excited by this. We've got 2 medium free-range eggs. We've got 125 grams of butter. I left this out last night so it's nice and soft, but we are going to melt this. I've got 250 grams of self-raising flour, or you could use plain flour and just add more raising agent, but I'm using self-raising today. I use this in my brown loaf recipe and it makes it really nice and soft and fluffy when it's baked. We've got some cocoa powder, so I've got 40 grams of cocoa powder. This is the intense black cocoa powder that I like the one that they use in the Oreos, but you can use regular cocoa powder. But for this, I want that really deep dark colour. So I'm going with this one. I've got a tablespoon of baking powder there. Just some coffee, the fine ground barista style coffee. We're just going to use this as a powder today. I normally put a shot of fresh espresso into my chocolate cakes because it just helps bring out the flavour a little bit more. But we're going to be using it as a powder today. And this is optional. If you don't want to use coffee, I know a lot of people don't want to, you can drop this one out. And we've also got some chocolate. So we've got white chocolate chips and just some milk chocolate that we're going to chunk up and melt a little bit of. So that will give us our triple chocolate with our cocoa powder. So, first up, let's talk about these things. Bananas. These have been hanging around. I can't lift them up because by the stem because they will fall off. These have been hanging around for over about a week, and you'll see that they've started to go really sort of black here. And this is what we're really looking for when we make banana bread. This one here has got brown spots on, so it's starting to get a bit extra ripe, but it's not quite there yet. And what the black denotes is bananas are really starchy. And as they ripen and they get overripe, that starch turns into sugar. So it becomes really, really sweet. And it's really soft and really mushy. So when you break it up, you know, if you've mashed bananas with a fork, then that's perfect. That's what we're doing with this. So we want them to be like this. You can use plantain. But plantain, when they ripen, the starch doesn't as easily convert into sugar, so you want to roast them beforehand, and you could do that in the oven for about 15 minutes, maybe drizzle it with some a little bit of extra honey, or you could even soak them in rum if you're going for like a Caribbean style, but you'd want to roast them. If you want to make banana bread and you've only got ones that look like this, you can also roast these to start with. So you'd pop them, peel them, slice them up, put them on a baking sheet and pop them in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Or you can just roast them whole like this, again, for 10 to 15 minutes. And you'll notice the skin that will go black. And again, it's just speeding up that process and converting the starch inside of these into the sugar. So, on my banana fact-finding mission, we're not friends, I found out, generally, that every person in the UK, on average, who eats banana will eat about 100 of them a year, and will also, as a country, go through about 5 billion of these a year. So that's a lot of banana bread, or a lot of bananas. And also, we only really see them like this, but there's about 1,000 different varieties of banana. But we typically only eat the one. It's the one that you find in the supermarkets, and this is called a Cavendish banana. So yeah, there's 1,000 different types of bananas, all shapes and sizes and things. And it's a berry. Even though it looks like it grows on a tree, the tree apparently is a herb, and this is a berry, not a fruit. But it's banana. So let's get started, and I'm going to start with my bananas. Now you can do this just in a big mixing bowl and mash it with a fork, and it's great to do it with the kids as well. So especially the peely bit and things. Good doing this with the nephews because they can do all of that. Auntie Lou doesn't have to touch them. But I'm going to do mine in a stand mixer just because it's less touching for me. 2 seconds. Let's get a board. So you can do it by hand with a fork, or you can do it with a hand mixer as well, or you can do it like in the stand mixer, like I say. If you do it with the stand mixer, I've just got the paddle attachment on there. So, like I say, these bananas are really, really ripe, so not a huge amount of touching for me. and they are really soft. And even though I'm not a fan, I can smell how sweet they are. And they're just falling out there. So, got one. He did offer to do this before he left to go cycling this morning. If you are doing this in advance, peeling your bananas in advance, if you give them a squeeze with a little bit of lemon juice, like other things, it'll stop them browning off too much. Obviously, when they're peeled. I think I'm feeling very brave with these bananas at the moment. We're going for 4 quite not quite medium sized, but this one's really squishy bananas. But you can use two bigger versions, and that one's very brown on the end, so I'm not going to bother with that. Let me just quickly wash my hands. So, that wasn't so bad, was it, Louise? I've got 4 bananas in here ready to mush with a fork or the stand mixer. I am just going to quickly break them up a little bit with a fork. I've got a plate over there. And I'm just going to pop that on low just to mix that banana up whilst it's doing it. So next we're going to add into this our other wet ingredients. So we're going to melt our butter. So this is 125 grams of butter. And as you know by now, I don't have a microwave, so we're just going to pop this onto the hob on a very low heat just to get it to melt through. And that's what it's doing as it mixes it, is the banana is matching, but we're not getting any lumps or anything, so it's becoming a lot smoother. So when we combine it into our bread, we get a nice fluffy texture. You can just do it with a fork, you don't have to do it with a stand mixer. So that's there. The butter is melting, and next we're going to add our 2 eggs. I'm not going to lift this, it's quite to show you, but it's quite runny. But you'll be able to see here on the paddle how it's sort of become quite juicy. So in with 1 egg. Two. I'm just going to wash my hands again. And let's just check on our butter. That's melting down. You could take the butter to like a browned butter stage. When you get those, if you've ever done butter on the hob, you'll see as you melt it, it will just become really sort of, you'll get little brown bits in the bottom, and it's nutty. It's got a real nutty flavour, and it's really, really great. So, another fun fact, if we all open them from the wrong end, we're supposed to take them and open from the foot, not the stem. I didn't know that. So, yes, just whilst waiting for the butter, you're meant to open them from this end and peel them down. And I suppose this is like a little handy-holdy thing, isn't it? Having very rarely peeled banana due to the old allergy, I didn't realise that. Yeah, so there's more. They're also really high in potassium, so they're naturally radioactive. not in a scary way, but I think it's the potassium and the why it's really good for athletes and recovery and things like that. But yeah, so you open them that way. Cool. Right, let's have a quick look at our butter. I can hear that bubbling, so it's just started to go. So if you're melting your butter in the microwave, it would just be a couple of like 30-second blast. This is the one that we used earlier. So I've popped in here. So this is the mashed banana, 2 medium free range eggs at room temperature. I took them out the night before. I always say, you'll see recipes say room temperature, and you can do things from fridge cold, but it's really good if you can get things up to temperature before you start baking with them. Because if they're cold and they're mixed together, you bring the mixes cold, and then when you put it in the oven, it's got to work even harder to get up to the temperature where things need to happen and start baking. So 2 eggs, our mushed bananas, and our melted butter. In that all goes. I'm just going to pop that on it. Oh, we're a bit jumpy today. The KitchenAid needs a little bit of service. So this is just now a really wet mixture. We've done the mushing. So what we're doing now is we're adding our melted butter and our eggs. And you could at this point add some melted chocolate if you wanted to. For a really extra chocolatey taste. I'm not going to today. But if you wanted to, about 50 grams of chocolate melted, just quick in the microwave, 30-second blast again, or over a bain-marie on the hob, just so it's so it melts through, and you can add it, and it will just give a little bit of an extra chocolatey texture in it. So in here I've got my eggs, my butter, and my mashed bananas. So it's quite a liquid mix now. And we're ready to start putting in our dry ingredients. So it's really quite simple. You can do this all in one bowl. So I've got 250 grams of self-raising flour. This could be plain flour or all-purpose flour, and then you just add extra baking powder to give it the rise. Self-raising flour's got our raising agent already in it. So I sieved it this morning, so you didn't have to watch me sieving for 5 minutes. So that's all in. We've then got our soft brown sugar. So this is light. I did have dark brown sugar on the shopping list, but unfortunately that didn't come. But the light brown sugar did. You can just use a regular caster sugar. I just prefer to use a brown sugar. It gives more of a caramelly depth flavour to it, especially when you're working and using chocolate. It just helps balance everything through. We've then got our intense cocoa powder. So this is called intense black cocoa powder. And as you can see, it's a lot darker than a regular cocoa powder. It's due to the way that it's processed and its cocoa butter content. But this is what they'll use in things like Oreos. So when you see it, it's got that really dark chocolate. This is usually what's been used. So I'm just also going to add that in. It's so fine. It's like a chocolate icing powder. It is more expensive than regular cocoa powder, but I buy it in a kilo bag and it lasts me for forever. But it's really good, especially for things like the tray bakes that we've been making recently. So we've then got our teaspoon of baking powder. And then the espresso powder, or the barista style coffee, ground coffee. This is just the really fine stuff. So we should have had a teaspoon, sorry, just want a little bit there. So about a teaspoon to go in. Now you don't have to use this. Coffee just adds and helps bring out the chocolatey flavour. So, excuse me, this is really sort of like really helps. You don't taste the coffee when it's baked. It's not there. It's just it just brings all of those flavours together. You can use like a shot of cooled espresso if you want to, or you can use the powder. I've been using espresso shots recently, but I thought I'd just give the powder a go and see how that works in. If you don't have powder or espresso, you can use just regular freeze-dried coffee, instant coffee granules. Just put a good heat teaspoon into a little jar like this, and add a drop of water at a time, and mix it until it's like a really thick paste. Because the freeze-dried coffee granules are a lot bigger, we want to they won't incorporate as much. So by just making it into a paste, it means that we can disperse it a lot easier through the banana bread mixture, through the chocolate. So we've added our dry to our wet, and just very gently on low. She says, hoping it's not going to go everywhere. Mix together into our dough. And you don't want to overmix it, because if you overmix it, it's going to be really dense and really heavy. So just give it a stir together. If you're doing it with a spoon, it's easy. It's all going to come falling off here, so I'm not going to pick it up. But at the moment, it's this really dark, chocolatey mixture. So before we put this into our pan, we're just going to add a few little extra bits and pieces. Now, I've got chocolate chips. You can add chocolate chips. These are white ones, or you can just chop up a bar of chocolate. Again, this is what happens at the moment during shopping delivery. You get different things. So I was hoping to have 2 bars of everything, but I've got a bag of chips instead. So in here, these are the white ones. I'm going to add a good handful through. Straight in. We're going to keep some for the top. And with the chocolate bar, again, this is just milk chocolate, and we're just going to chop it up into shards. And at this point now, you could add anything else you want to do. So I know a lot of people really like adding nuts. Again, can't have nuts, there's an allergy there. But you could like pecans and walnuts in there. Really just something to give it a little bit of bite and texture. So I'm just going to, however, this is a chunk of chocolate bar, break it up. And I'm doing it just ever so gently with the palm of my hand on the knife. So please be careful if you do this, because it can fire off, especially if you chop it hard. But just gently pressing down, rocking, so it goes through the chocolate. And I'm doing it at an angle, so it's not on those seams. I watched a video recently, somebody doing this on Facebook, and just fired chocolate everywhere, which is a waste of good chocolate. So just very carefully, and then you can chop across the other way. And this is going to give us some really nice shardy bits of chocolate as we go through the banana bread. Right. And I'm just going to add that in as well. Just all those little bits of chocolate from chopping. And we'll just pop that on and mix it through. The remainder of the chocolate, the remainder of the milk chocolate, I'm going to make into like a milk chocolate ganache just to pour over the top when we're done. That's just a chocolate and heavy cream or double cream mixture. So that's all gently mixed through. Let's give this a scrape down and I can show you then what it looks like without too much banana pudding. So in here then we've got our overripe bananas, 4 smaller ones or 2 medium. We've got 2 eggs. We have melted butter, and then we've added our self-raising flour. Just get rid of that. Our self-raising flour, our cocoa powder, soft light brown sugar, and the coffee powder, and then we've added the white chocolate chips and the chopped milk chocolate. So it looks a little bit like this. You can see it's still quite runny. We've not over mixed it. So I'm just going to just make sure we've got all the flour and anything else off the side of the bowl before we turn it out. So you could do this. You could do this anyway, really. You could make them as little mini cupcakes if you wanted to, or brownie bites, sort of in the mini muffin tins. I've seen someone recently on Facebook doing it in a silicone ice cube tray. So not the hard ones, but the silicone ones. You can put it in the oven, so you can get little banana bread bites. You can do it in a bundt tin, or I'm just going to go in a loaf tin. This is a £2 loaf tin. This is well used £2 loaf tin. Yeah, so I'm just going to give it a little grease. I'm using a cake release. Again, as I tend to do, I just do it in the corners on the longer sides. But I'm also going to line it just with some baking parchment or paper. I'm going to put it in lengthways across here, so I'm just going to trim it down, but leave enough so it comes up the sides. When it's baked, I can nice and easily lift it out and pop it on our cooling rack. So this is a little bit longer than I want. So we're just going to, got a pair of scissors that take forever. So we've got a piece there that we can just lay across and tuck in if there's any there, spare. And with this off bit, you could line the 2 ends if you want to, or you can also put it that way in, which is what I do normally do. So I'm just going to pull that back, lay this that way, end to end. So we can, we've got a nice sort of lined tin there, just poke the corners in. And just with the mixture, with our, let's get it all off and pour in. Despite the fact I can smell the bananas, it also smells so chocolatey. That intense cocoa powder really sort of gives it a really chocolate hit. But like I say, if you don't have it, or you're not a fan of the Oreo style, you can just use a regular cocoa powder. And let's just scrape it down. Ooh. Just going to just give that before I lean in it, because that will happen. So here we have our chocolate banana loaf ready to go. You can, I'm just going to level it off across the top. And last but not least, I nearly forgot this. Our last but not least, our banana that we have that isn't overripe is starting to ripen. We're going to use it we're still going to use this. We're going to use it as a decoration. So I'm going to peel it down. I'm not going to attempt the wrong way of peeling it, the right way of peeling it, in case it all goes wrong. But I'm not even going to. I'm just going to slice the top off because I'm a wuss, and just slice down the sides. I can peel it back, she hoped. Yeah. This is a lot less mushy than the ones that we put in here earlier. It's a lot more stable. When I popped those into the mixing bowl, they just fell apart. But this one isn't. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice this into long ways, into 3. Broken up a little bit, but that's fine. And then we're just going to layer this on top of our loaf. So put one there. And some of these little bits that are broken up, we'll just pop one there. And then with what we've got left, I'll take another slice. He's got bananas and custard for pudding them tonight. And lay it there. Just put it in. And there as well. So let me just quickly hands. So we have our banana topped banana loaf, chocolate, and then this is going to, like I said, get a chocolate glaze over the top. It'll be ready. Ian will typically eat this when he's been out cycling or just as a snack, slice it up with a little bit of butter or something, or just eat it as it is. But this now goes in the oven for about 45 minutes. It needs a really good bake. It might even, depending on your oven and how hot your mixture is, it could take between 45 minutes and an hour. So I'm going to pop this in now, just this. Actually, I might just pop it on a baking tray in case it decides to have a mind of its own. And 45 minutes. So the oven was preheated to 180 degrees C, 350 Fahrenheit. As I say, it's about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll see how it is after 45 minutes. But it should be nice and risen and I'd say golden brown, but you're not going to see it because you've got the cocoa powder. But if you're going for a regular one, it'd be nice and golden on the top. Just a little bit springy. As you push back, it'll ping back up. But now we'll pop it in there now for than. Yeah, it's really, really simple. So even somebody with a banana allergy like me can make it. It will be, um, it will be sort of, it's easy. Unfortunately, I can't taste it, but it's something that everybody seems to be doing, and I can guarantee most people have got a brown banana or something languishing in the end of their in their fruit bowl or on the side. You can freeze bananas as well, I think, but don't quote me on that one. Anyway, this one is going to bake for a little while now, and I'm going to get cleaned up. But we are sort of, I think, it's about 3 weeks left of me doing these kitchen lives, and then I'm going to have a little bit of a break just to get some ideas going. So if you've got any ideas that you want to see me bake over the next 3 weeks, or there's anything you'd really like, then do let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. I know people have said things like ice cream. So I'm trying to just work at the moment on a recipe for like an ice cream cake using a homemade easy ice cream recipe. So that might be the last one that we do for a little bit of celebration. And then when we come back, I'll be looking more towards the end of the summer. So we'll be looking sort of around August time and September, going into Halloween and all the exciting things that are sort of making brains at that time of year. I can't believe we're even thinking about that, because the last 3 months in lockdown have been a bit strange. But do let me know if there's anything you'd like to see. Definitely try the no bake bounties. Oh yes, I remember you told me them on the Facebook page. You know, thank you. Yes, you reminded me. I have got it saved. I've got your post saved, so I will pick that one out. I'm going to be doing a little bit of experiments, so they might be really cool as well, because they could be like gifts as sort of around about for Christmas and things. Oh yes. Good idea. Thank you very much for reminding me. Yeah, as usual, everything is. I love having you guys here with me on a Sunday morning. We are streaming on YouTube as well at the moment, which is also quite exciting. There's a lot more people out there, and my nerves are getting slightly better, and the technology has got a lot better. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you very much for joining me. I know the world is a really strange place at the moment. There's a lot going on. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you are, please stay safe and take care. I thank each and every one of you for being here. So that's, yeah. Have a fabulous Sunday, and I shall see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.